Hey YouTube, what's up? This is the Reluctant Navi back again with news and views, my views on some of the news. And so I would like to start out by saying Jumbo Habarigani, Sani Bonani, Kedu Bawani, Oi to the Bang, Vasses Lowe's, Bonjour mes amis, Ni hao ni hama, and Konnichiwa. All right. Basically, the title of this is Payback to lying black woman that sent innocent black man to prison. All right. Now, this is a bittersweet story, and I'll tell you why I say that in a minute. All right. Now, the author that I put in my last story, for those of you that follow me that closely, this came from Ethics Alarm, right? The story, well, I did Wanetta Gibson before, but Ethics Alarm just put things on a map for me, and I wanted to do a follow-up on her to see what actually happened. I did like 2 stories on her, and I told you I'd do a follow-up. Well, this is what happened. Doing research, and I put this here because whoever this is, they make some valid issues. But she's going to have to pay back that $1.5 million. All right. And this, the person that wrote this says she stole it because she lied to get it. Now, remember, she was 15 at the time. So who got that money? Her mother. Who put her up to it? Her mother. She is in high school at the time. She is a sophomore at the time. Right? Her mother, her black mama. Her mama's black. The queen. The God. That's who put her up to this. She got $1.5 million in the process. $1.5 million in this process. All right. And left a black man to rot in jail. Had the dude not been good enough to get parole, this may have never been surfaced. This may have never surfaced. 2 things happened. One, she wanted to apologize to him, but she didn't want to give the money back. She didn't want to go public. All right, but everything was being taped because he hired an investigator after she contacted him on Facebook seeking an apology once she knew he got out. So he went back to the hood. She heard he's out. And now she's trying to get her soul right by not actually repenting. Repenting is repaying for the debt that and the harm that you caused. No, the problem with black women is they don't want to repair the damage. They only want a clear conscience, but they want to benefit from the evil that they did against someone. Understand that. That's not repenting. But Christian church teach you that. I have a problem with one of my nieces about that. With dealing with the white folks teacher about Christianity and the black people teacher about Christianity. Oh no, all you gotta do is ask for forgiveness. I said no, it don't work that way, young one. I said you have to make amends and atone for the evil that you do. But when black women do evil, they don't want to atone for it. All right, they don't want to atone for it. So this dude, remember, 5 years in prison, 5 years out before the bombshell. All right. Now, the person is going into thing. Well, she recanted and said that she lied, right? And she lied because she was afraid of being she kept up the lie because she was afraid of being prosecuted. She also concerned and admitted that what she did will adversely affect how her children regard her. These are the same, and the author points out that these are the same children that she cannot support and owes money under a court order. So she took all that money, whatever she got. Her mom spent all the money up that she got, and her aunts. So basically, in the original story, the people that spent the money, her, the black woman, her black mother, and her black mother's sisters. All these black women understood and knew that this dude was falsely imprisoned, but because white people gave them $1.5 million, oh, they was good with putting a black man in jail and hoping he rot there. And then they blew that $1.5 million in 10 years. They got it when she was 15. By the time she was 25, she didn't have nothing. Her children don't have anything. This is what happens when you put black women in charge of raising children alone. The mom messed her up, and she's messing her own children up. All right, and so basically, I want you to understand the problem that this author have with this. All right, she says Wanetta Gibson, total deficit of character and refusal to accept minimal responsibility as a member of society, raises a question that has troubled me for some time, and that I alluded to in a previous post about her. What does society and government owe such an awful individual if she cannot be imprisoned or forced to pay for damage to the man she harmed and the community she robbed? Why? This is what black men have been asking. Is there no means whereby society can cut her off from all the benefits due to law-abiding citizen? This is what we ask. Why do black women get this privilege? These privileges, right? Why? Why welfare? Why child support? Why do the woman automatically get the children? Automatically. There's starting to be hearings now because they're effing stuff up so bad that these white people are scrambling to try to figure out how to fix it, and they're starting to realize that, oh, give them to the men. Men have been doing a better job at raising children, and children have been coming out 10 times better, statistics shows, than they ever were with the black woman when they give the child to the black man. All right. Why can't there be a way to declare Gibson ineligible for public assistance, food stamps, Social Security, Medicare? She gets all of those. She spun up all the money. Now she gets these things. You see what I'm saying? Why should she be entitled to these things? You see what I'm saying? This is what this person is asking. The same questions that black men have been asking for a long time. Only this went up on, you saw it, Ethics Watch. All right. So the crime never happened. The judge throws out the wrongful rape conviction, right? This is Wanetta Gibson on camera, talking about she don't want to have to pay it back. All right, you saw the other picture where she didn't know anything about sex. Right? So at the time of the rape, she didn't know anything about sex. She was a virgin. Her mom knew that she was still a virgin. Her aunts knew that she was still a virgin. She knew. And I would not be surprised if her mother is the one that told her, be hush hush and be quiet. because they got all this money that came from the school district, the state, and stuff like that. You know her mom told her to shut up when the millions come in. Now, this is the travesty for all black men, and this is why black women will not stop, and this is why we have to wait on the Most High and let him kill them off. Let the Most High do it. He's using them thugs to see. We can't do stuff like that. And brothers, keep it in mind. I know a lot of you are expressing yourself, but we can't do that because we can't tell a sister from a black woman. The black women can fool us into thinking that she's a sister and not be. Alright, we'll learn after a while, as we know that she don't really follow the lead of a black man and she wants us to bow down to her. Alright, that's the clues to get out until she get right. Alright, she'll get a black woman is right when she's contrite, when she understands that the man is the head and follow the lead of the black man and conduct herself as a black woman. See, that's what strong is. Alright, but she's not going to face the courts. Now, they did win the lawsuit, so she's going to have to pay that money back somehow, some way. And her mother should too. And her aunts should too. Alright. So, basically, the writer goes on to, she has inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And she says, at Wanetta Gibson's epic level of contempt for decency and the rest of the community, that should be all she has. Allowing her anything more cannot be justified by kindness, logic, or fairness. In other words, it is not kind. It is not nice when you give things to an evil woman because it's being withheld from people that deserve it, like good men. We give all this stuff to evil women, and it's not fair, it's not logical, it's not even kind. This is why you don't cast pearls to swine. It is not kind for us to placate evil women and saying, well, they're black women. No, you have to make the distinction between a woman and a sister. A good woman or a bad one, a sorry one or an evil one, or one that's trying to do well. The one that's trying to do well is a sister. If it's a sister that has the back of black men, then you look out for them. Everything else that's evil, you're not to be kind to them. You're not to be fair with them, because you're not supposed to mess with them at all. Alright, and she goes on to say, I know that there is no such remedy possible, that our entitlements are just that, entitlements, and not privileges. And not as privileges would be, susceptible to removal from those who refuse to meet the obligation under the social contract. That's the part that's wrong with them. Postscript. There is no good place for this. And in this is the reason why this person wrote this in Ethics Watch. There is no good place for this, and the statement is it references is too offensive to justify a full post. But this afternoon, I heard. This is somebody close to criminal defense. I heard a criminal defense attorney discussing Wanetta Gibson's case on Fox News. Oh, okay, she heard it on Fox News. Say that she should not be prosecuted because to do so might discourage actual rape victims from reporting the real sexual assaults on them. I just thought I should share that stunning theory so I do not qualify, so that I do not go quietly insane alone. And that is the evil. That lawyer that made the statement is also evil. What the lawyer, the defense attorney, and this is a defense attorney that should have just been like the justice of an innocent man. This shows you something about the United States legal system. The white people's legal system, period. The white European legal system is evil at its base. The intent is to win. Period. The intent is to allow evil to be pervasive. And in that statement, that attorney is just as evil as Wanetta Gibson. Because he's saying that women, black women, any woman should be able to put a black man away for any indefinite period of time, even if the man is innocent, is because a one-time rape or a accusation of rape is more important than the innocence of a man that did not do it. Forget that that man might be raped in prison as a result of a false rape charge. Fortunately, he was football player shape, defensive lineman, so he can handle himself. Lesser men have been incarcerated. They went in straight, came out gay. Let me repeat that. They went in straight, came out gay. They got millions and millions and millions of dollars, but they were continuously raped in prison behind false rape charges. And I'm sorry, but the rape of a man is way worse than a rape of a woman if the woman has been raped vaginally. If the woman has been sodomized, then it is just as evil as a man. It is a harsh thing when a woman is raped. But the reason why I call it worse with a man is because nothing is supposed to go up nobody's booty hole, to include the woman. So you dudes into getting a woman up the booty hole, that's just as gay as doing it to the man. That's the same abomination as that's doing it to the man. So let's get that understood right off the top. But at least vaginal rape is natural. I mean, vaginal sex is natural. Rape is not. Under the biblical terms, a person that raped anybody would be put to death. See, that would be fair. But then we would have put this innocent man to death. But if the man is found to be innocent and a woman is found to be a virgin, see, and they would have done that. They would have saw if the woman was a virgin back in biblical time, and they would have put her to death. See, she was a virgin. She was still a virgin at the time of this incident. And nobody bothered to do a medical check to see if there was intercourse, because you didn't need to. They just railroaded the black man into prison because he didn't have good attorney, and he was in high school too. He was 17, she was 15 when this happened. That's how evil this system is. My last point on this dude, he tried out with the Chargers and stuff. He ended up with the Falcons. The Falcons did a good thing. They're trying to right and injustice, and he still has a little talent. He probably could have been a beast, but he still has talent. And with saying that, I wouldn't be surprised if his woman was white. I mean, I really wouldn't. Wait a minute. Y'all know I was joking, right? After all he's been through with a black woman, behind black women, remember, Wanetta Gibson was a virgin. Her mom knew it. All those aunts knew it. None of those women had enough honor and integrity and pride to not put a black man in jail. Why? Because they got paid to do it. $1.5 million. She was a virgin. Understand this, people. The mom did not want justice. She wanted that money. Her mother need to be, Mrs. Gibson, Wanetta Gibson's mother, need to be put on blast, along with all her aunts that spun up that money. And she told it. That's where that money went. Her mom and them aunts spun it up on cars and everything else. Hair weave. You know, the usual weave. That good high dollar weave. And designer clothing and purses and stuff. They spun up $1.5 million in 10 years. When I first started doing YouTube, I was like, you know, we need to stick with the sisters, brothers with the sisters and stuff. And as I started seeing this statistic and seeing how evil black women were, I still think, brothers, if we can find a sister, we need to unite with her. But black women, we need to stay the hell away from them. They mean nothing but evil to us. And you see how they come and reply to my page. I just delete them. I don't conversate with them. I'll conversate with one for a few if it look like she's saying something. But, you know, they'll give themselves away sooner or later. Then I delete them because they can't help themselves. They only desire evil. Their heart is corrupt and evil. So, I ain't hating on a brother that get him a fine white woman, because he might end up paying half, but at least he'll still get to see his children. You see what I'm saying? If stuff go wrong, at least white women don't keep the children. I haven't heard a lot of that from black men that have that's divorced. They don't keep the children from the father. They'll try to get the money. All the women try to get the money. Oh, let's not get that twisted. All the women try to get the money. But they recognize the importance of that black daddy in that black child's life. Final thoughts. Ezekiel 23:45. But let the righteous men judge them with the judgment of adulteress and the judgment of women who shed blood, for they are adulterous and blood is on their hand. That's Wanetta Gibson. That's that other girl in the last story that tried to have the bus shot up. Ezekiel 23:46. For thus said the Master Yahweh, bring up an assembly against them and give them up to maltreatment and plunder. And the assembly shall stone them with stones and cut them off with swords. They shall slay their sons and their daughters. In other words, get rid of them thuglets and the daughters of these single black women. All right, you notice now, you notice the judgment of the Most High. All these men are going and shooting the mothers and the children. All right, remember the last story I reported, right? You're starting to see that. The Almighty is starting to judge these women with the judgment of the thugs. So he's taking care of the thugs with prison and the women and their child at the same time. Because you're not to let that child grow of a single black mother. Basically, that's what it's saying. So they shall slay their sons and their daughters and burn their houses with fire. In other words, he's saying with these single black independent women that think they are the on the level of the Most High and don't no man, that he is going to deal with them harshly and completely, all the way down to what they own. Ezekiel 23:48, and I shall put it into wickedness in the land, and all the women shall be instructed not to commit wickedness as you have done. And they shall put your wickedness on you, and you shall bear the sin of your idols. Beyonce, the white man's justice system, white Jesus, Christianity, the black church. And you shall know that I, the master, Yahweh. It says, you shall know that I am the master, Yahweh. Alright, so understand that, people. And just a little footnote. A guy asked me to mention this. You have something called the Gnostic Gospels from the Essenes that predates Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Remember, Mark is the oldest gospel in the New Testament, and it was written 150 to 200 years after the fact. All right, the letters of Paul was contrived by Josephus and stuff to get people to go away from following the commandments. All right. The Jesus Christ that people refer to is a amalgamation of all the Mashiachs that were running around at the time and whooping up on that Roman behind. And that's why the Romans wrote the New Testament. The New Testament did not exist. When the Mashiachs was running around, they were using the Old Testament and the Apocrypha. Alright, so that's what Stratus, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th Maccabees, Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, all of those books. Those are the Apocrypha. If you go online and look at the King James 1611 version, you will find that there are no J's in it. It is closer to the Hebrew text, but it's off because it's the rabbinic text, is not the Masoretic text, right? And so when you go look at it, it does contain the Apocrypha. When you look at the red letter one, then the modern Bibles, they took all of that out. It's because it shows the rebellion against the Romans and the rebellion against the Greeks. Anytime you put up anything outside of Yahweh Elohim, which means a Jesus Christ or a Caesar or the goddess Zeus. And remember, Jesus is Zeus, which is a Babylonian god, and the Greek god Zeus, conglomerate. So all the people that is praying to Jesus is praying to a Babylonian demon and a Greek demon. Which is why, as Joseph ben Yosef pointed out in his video that I posted, and go look at it, who is Jesus really? That's the title. Yosef, Yosephen, Yoseph. 3 words. Who is Jesus really? When you look at it, he looked at the comparisons of Satan in the devil in the Old Testament and how it lined up with the comparison to Jesus in the New Testament, to where Jesus has the same attributes as the devil. So there, for the guy that asked that question, that's basically what's up, right? And so if you need any more information, just hit me up, and I'll send you to my other's email, and I can send you some stuff, PDF form. All right. With that said, I'm out.